I was hoping maybe Terry Underhill. Might come tonight.
Yeah, he was, I think, he was the vice chair.
Yeah.
I believe you're right. So we don't have either chair or vice chair here, so anybody else want to lead the meeting, or does that fall on me?
You can start the meeting. And then you'll elect your officers,
Oh, boy.
and then whoever is electing your officers will run the meeting.
All right, call this meeting to order at 5:35 on Tuesday, August 26th. Roll call, Jim Corey. Here. Natalie Rector.
Here.
Mitch Robbins. Zach Chappelle. Kaylee Hill.
Here.
Alex Culver. Here. Gary Underhill. Well, that's a quorum. We need to,
Do we have a quorum?
yeah, it's four.
Yay. Oh,
So we need to add election of officers to the agenda. And is there any nominees? Anybody?
I would like to nominate Mitch Robbins.
Yeah, nominates.
Mitch does try to make the meetings and he's a good chair. But we certainly have others here that would.
Is there anybody else that wants to? You nominate yourself. Is that something? Anybody else want to nominate anybody or nominate themselves or anything?
Is there anybody that has a hankering to be chairman of this kind of group?
What does the chairman do?
Looks at other people.
Runs the meeting.
Show them.
If they
Basically
want,
follow the agenda.
yeah, there's not a whole lot involved in. It's been overly active, so it's. Really whatever you want to do with it, but it's basically following the agenda, coming up with the agenda item, if you have any, to give to us,
What kind of power can I let go to my head? What authority do I have?
You'll be
Yeah.
over to wrangle the monkeys and give them back on top.
Yeah,
One of the great things about it really is that sometimes you also get to kill really bad ideas. And people don't realize when you serve on this board, there are both good and bad ideas that come forward and you get to sit through some of that. That's important for our open spaces and things in the city. But I think it's important.
I nominate Jim.
Oh, no. Too old,
One second.
too much time went by that. But thank you, but, oh no.
so if we just do nominations right now, do we vote on somebody that's not here? I don't know how that works.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you have a second, it's kind of, I mean, I don't know who's gonna run the meeting, you'll have to have a vice chair that's actually here to run the meeting.
Right, we have it right now.
vice chair.
So, I mean, you can run them as a concurrent thing, you could do a person for a chair and vice chair, do the same motion if you like. You can do separate motions, you can do more. Whatever suits your board.
But Justin could run the meeting if. I mean. There's that person that we've done that before.
You would technically elect a vice or a chair pro tem to the meeting. If someone on your board runs the meeting, that's.
Who's setting forth these rules? How does that work?
It's technically part of the Robert's Rules of Order. And which is what your board bylaws follow, they can follow.
Say that again, what are they?
Your board bylaws,
Robert's board?
Robert's Rules of Order.
Alex, would you be acting chair for the day?
Sure.
Can I give it a second? A second.
There was, I believe, a motion for the
Trying to
board,
figure out who your chair and vice
For the
chair are,
board
trying to
chair.
figure out if you need a chair for the day.
that we're waiting for a second.
So that was Jerry was who, Jim nominated Mitch,
Not here.
who's not here, so
Second.
Natalie seconds that.
Now come to a vote.
All those in favor say aye,
Aye.
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 all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So Mitch is your chair. Now you need to figure out your vice chair.
Alex, would you be vice chair?
Sure.
I nominate Alex to be vice chair.
I second.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. And Alex, and are you running this meeting then?
Sure. We call to order, we roll call,
Yep.
approval of agenda.
Do we need a secretary?
No.
No.
Liz is your secretary.
Oh, no, thank you.
I'd like to add that, after the last meeting was canceled, I sent an email, I thought, to everybody asking if I could have a subcommittee to work on the pickleball courts when they're open. So I'd like to add that committee report to the agenda.
We need to vote in agenda additions.
You just approve the agenda as amended, so you just, she wants to add something to the agenda, and then you approve your agenda, just approve the agenda as amended.
Did we do approval of minutes first?
If you approve your, just do your approval.
Oh, approval, okay. Okay, so approve agenda.
Are there any other?
You want a subcommittee to approve it for pickleball courts to do what?
Just to talk about the grand opening and how to run the pickleball courts and thank people that donate and that sort of thing.
I think I'm over.
What's your agenda?
Are we still doing that?
So I think I'm putting it as old business item D. Pickleball courts.
Natalie, thank you for sending that out and volunteering. I didn't see where that went, but that was very appreciated. That's a big one to come forward for. So thank you.
When are they open? Do we have a timeline?
November, well, I mean, they're supposed to be finished sometime November with opening in the next spring, getting it fully up and running.
Yeah, we didn't spring for the heated courts.
Unfortunately, no. Pop-up enclosure.
Fair enough.
All right, what's the next step?
So now you could say something like do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
We have a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Approve, or way to vote on that now?
All in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Difficult bunch here. Approval of the minutes. I'm assuming this means the old minutes.
April, go way back.
I move to approve.
I apologize, I wasn't on it. I was on paternity leave. Okay, we have one. We have a second to approve this agenda, these minutes.
Second.
Vote or no vote? For all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed.
All those opposed?
Motion carries.
Seems really unnecessary, but we'll do it.
I think Robert.
Right, Bob.
Robert, what are you doing to us?
It just helps so that way if anyone ever questions what your writing board does, then you can say that you officially approved.
I question what we do. No
I get it, I
authority,
used to be part of this board, I used to be Linda, so.
no authority to do anything. Public comments. Do we have any of the public who would like to comment today? No public comments. Do I need a vote? Okay, I'm gonna keep asking.
You don't need to vote for anything else, unless you guys wanna like actually.
So old business, skate park.
Yeah, so skate park, the fence has been removed at the skate park. It no longer looks as prison-ish as it once did. We have new equipment ordered. It's supposed to be here installed October 27th, 28th. I got an email recently saying they're running into some issues getting some stuff, so it could be pushed back. but they're gonna do everything they can to get it installed October 28th. So I gave them, if they can't get it installed by November, I think 10th, I gave them, we're gonna wait until next year or through the spring. So we might as well, so it doesn't have to sit out in the elements for 1 year. But that'll be nice. It's not gonna look a whole lot different. It'll just look a lot newer and nicer. So hopefully we don't have any issues with that. But we are getting rid of 95% of what's in there right now. We're keeping a couple grind rails that are screwed into the concrete. And we will keep a couple other grind rails just in storage in case something breaks or whatever else. So it'll be good.
You're talking about the fence that was like going like immediately around the
Yes.
skate park, that's gone.
That's cool.
Why did we have it?
That was well before my time here. I think it was to keep bicycles out of the park. Cause it had like a turnstile type of thing where you couldn't get a bike through. Over time, we turned it into an all-wheels park. So it's just not skaters. I've had ideas of looking at it, there's nothing around it now, which is good, but I was wondering what everybody thought about putting like some sort of bushes, like not a lot of them, like in the corners or like halfway through, just to give it a little bit of like
Presence.
Yes,
Only if you're gonna take care of them.
yeah, slow growing bushes or something like that, or
It's still gotta be maintained.
Just plant grass. If they fly off the end, they fly off into grass.
yeah,
There's something to be said about the enjoyability of a park that looks nice, and if we do have the ability to cut it once a year.
which we should. There shouldn't be any reason we have a full-time parks person. Hopefully soon.
You know, we do have those trees on the north side that were planted,
Right,
and there's somebody that's mowing regularly there.
right.
So they look good. The park there, the skateboard park seems to be well used, a lot of little kids, you know, up to 12, 13 with family.
Right.
So it's,
Worst comes to worst, I can take my hedge, turn it down and kind of sell it.
Yeah, that's authority right there.
I think some kind of low maintenance, some landscaping of some sort.
Yeah, I just think, that's what my thought was like, just, I'm looking at like these small bushes or just something, nothing that's gonna ever grow to be too big, but just something around there when I was looking at it, but. We'll see what comes of that, but that was just something that came to my mind. That's all on the skate park as of right now.
And kill the grass so they have a chance to live.
You say kill the grass?
Kill the grass so they has a chance to live and mulch around them. So those other trees you planted, there's grass right up right to them, and it's very competitive with
Yeah.
trees and bushes. The grass gets the water first.
I'd ask if we wanna vote on the bushes, but I don't think we actually have a decision to do it, so.
Nope.
We're going on to B, athletic field expansion.
The athletic field expansion is the splash pad and the pickleball courts. Moving right along, I don't know if anybody's driven past there.
Not today.
They poured concrete, it looks like last week. They poured the whole thing in one pour, which is, the contractor was a little, they're like, this is the big one. So they started at 2 AM. And it was a 10-hour pour, I think, so it was pretty legit. Everything as right now is going pretty smoothly on there. They haven't really ran into any major hiccups with the splash pad.
Under budget.
Right now, we're on budget. I mean, it's not, but we haven't hit any like major hiccups with having to add a bunch of stuff to it.
No fear. No hiccups.
All right, let's go with that under budget. Perfect.
That's the hope though.
Yeah.
Planning a little bit.
No contractors ever.
But these, so far, I mean, we've been happy with, I don't know much about building stuff, so, but I've been happy. And our meetings out there, they seem to be like pretty, like, let's push forward.
What was their name again? I know
Freedom Construction, I think
No
is,
change orders, no major change orders.
no major ones.
Yeah.
Ran into something right off the get-go with some of the sanitary sewer stuff, I think you were out there
Yep.
for it. And it was something about it, doing this, so they had to dig down a little further, something or other, I don't really understand it, so, but, nothing major.
similar timeline as the pickleball courts.
Yeah, it's, pretty much the same, we kind of want to open that whole complex up at the same time. Splash pad won't be open this year.
We're gonna do commissioning of it.
Yeah, we will. I don't know, we don't have a date or anything
Or pin cutting, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's what, the pickleball group kind of wanna head up a little bit.
Who's in charge of cleaning out, blowing out lines after this commission?
It will be, that's something, I'll have a new parks person, so they'll be involved in that.
Do we have someone that knows how to do it for sure, that can watch them do it first?
They will, the company will, that's building it,
Give
they will
instructions.
run us through everything the first time, like they'll show, and then there's basically, so there's a sheet that shows you exactly how to do it, it's not overly complicated.
It's the quickest way to make it a real expensive first year.
Right, those screw blows out most everything else, and, I mean, all the buildings in town that all of our bathrooms and everything else, so.
You should go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have.
We'll give some instructions.
We will have
And the
everybody
guy will
there.
be taking that stuff over,
Right.
so we'll be helping him learn, and he's just not here yet.
Okay.
So yeah, we're overall happy, it's moving right along, it's a big project and should be a good addition to the series.
My children are excited.
Good.
Anything else on the athletic field expansion? All right, on to C, Riverwalk.
That was the trust fund grant, I believe, it's been a long time ago that we have applied for. They came and visited early this summer, loved everything they saw, that's what the DNR told us, they said that we have a lot of things that will help us score very high in the grant process. I believe we should be hearing by November if we've hit the next step. So I haven't,
Put some context to that. So you've applied for a new grant, finished doing more work,
yes, over here on the Stewart's landing side,
so there's a grant in waiting approval.
It's a grant through who you just said?
the trust fund, DNR trust fund.
DNR.
And so it's doing another, I don't know, it's doing from the beginning of it on the Stewart Landing side to up to where we finished last year. And then a little bit, the L-shaped on this side of South Marshall, or on this side of the river.
You did it from Stewart's Landing in,
We didn't start, we started about middle of it,
Yeah, kind of where it crosses.
so how much
Drive
grant are you
river.
asking for this time?
for 200,000 with a $200,000 match.
Where's the match from?
Ooh. I think the city. I don't remember on that one. It's city, but we'll probably go for a different grant as a match. I think that's what it was. So that's where we're at. We've been other stuff on the Riverwalk right now. We've been repairing different sections that boards have broke. The facilities maintenance crew goes out and replaces boards. The toughest part about replacing some of the boards right now is the new tracks we have for it is thinner than the old tracks. So we have to shim everything up to make it match right
How
now.
did that happen?
It's 30 years old. And the stuff that's going bad was new, like they were trying out a prototype thing. It was the cheapest they could get 30 years ago. As cities do, they go for the cheapest stuff and it didn't hold, I mean, it held up 28 years, but replacing it now it's just everything a little bit thinner. So it's expensive, everything's expensive, checkboard is ridiculous.
Got a few extra pieces. Yeah, my shirt.
Yeah. Imagine. It ran out.
Yeah, brown and gray.
Mike, it's so close. Start
Various
getting donations
lengths.
from behind people's sheds all over the city.
Probably got a lot.
You probably did. Actually, I'll go look at it.
I'll take a look.
I'll give you a few
It's kind of a
seconds.
stone color, right? That we have now?
But that's the update on the.
All right, we are on to the amended D section for the new potential committee for the pickleball courts.
Yeah, we've got an active group already playing pickleball, they play at Villa on Verona. Good crowd shows up for that. I think the pickleball courts are gonna just take off like gangbusters when they get open, I think a lot of people are gonna wanna play and start playing, so. What we were interested in was like scheduling that, making sure everybody has fair time to play at your skill level. Everyone feels welcome. pickleball kind of has a unknown code or unspoken code that if somebody's waiting, you let them play. You don't just hog a court and play all day, so if people are waiting, you rotate them in.
Cycle through.
And,
Cycle through.
yeah, everybody gets to play.
You just schedule the courts, is that what we're
But
saying?
so then if you schedule, say, okay, here is open time at this time, then it kind of understood that everybody gets a chance to play. You can also organize courts by 1 and 2 are for beginners, and if you feel, you know, you can move up to the other courts, you know, so there's yeah, so a lot of things like that to make sure that everybody feels included, that we get a good reputation, that we're inclusive and anybody can show up and play at your skill level, not get hurt. It's most important is to play at your skill level. And have fun. And have times for everything, you know, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of kids that are gonna wanna play. There's, you know, young, fast people that wanna play hard and fast, you know, so kind of sorting out those things so everybody has fun and so that it gets off and has a really good reputation. People in town, there's people that don't like how much money we spend on it, and let them know that, you know, if anybody goes up there, that they're welcome and included, and it's a good thing to have in the community, so.
And there'll also be open time slots, just to go down, like if you don't wanna. Like there will be still some open time
Yeah.
slots where you don't have to select a time slot.
Yeah.
Is that list online?
That's what we're in the beginning stages of discussing. There's an app that Natalie. What was it? Natalie had it.
Playtime schedule.
Playtime
Yeah, and then, like, so
schedule.
it'd be like maybe 8 to 12, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is open time, and these are kind of the rules for it. So then you wanna go play in the afternoon if it's empty and you got 4 people, go play. But, you know, say if it's a designated time, then that means you're supposed to share the courts and rotate people in and that sort of thing.
So I take it we're planning some signage then to explain all that?
Yes, that's, yeah.
Yep.
Great.
But I just was in another city this weekend and Googled what was going on in the city, and they were playing at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, so I went up, you know, they rotated in and see what's going on. And they had a sign up, yeah, we've got some examples of signs of places.
And the good thing is we're not the first pickleball courts ever, you know, there's gonna be a lot of examples to pull from, a lot of people's experience to pull from. And I mean, we don't have to reinvent the wheel to make this work and.
And then the also thing is to start with some lessons too. So that, and part of lessons, in my opinion, is you also teach kind of etiquette and what's assumed and that sort of thing, pickleball, so it's considered kind of supposed to be a friendly game, everybody can play. So, that's just what the committee's working on, and to make sure it, like, say, we have lessons and teach that everyone will say, oh, well, yeah, this is a good thing in the community. We have a lot of volunteers that are willing to work with beginning lessons. And then once we get a group, I'm sure in a year from now, you know, see what the skill level is, the activity level, the time slots people want, that sort of thing, and adjust accordingly. I think it's gonna take off.
There's always people playing at Northwoods.
Pardon?
There's always people playing Northwoods swimming pool. I don't actually belong there, but they're always showing up, playing pickleball out there, so.
And if you use this playtime scheduler, it goes by city, so somebody's on vacation and they go in there and they punch on Marshall, it'll pop up and tell when the hours are for every day and.
Playtime scheduler is what it's called.
Playtime schedule, it's a free app. And there's others too, that's one, we've gotten the Marshall people started using that one, so. And because the problem with pickleball, you need 4 people. And you like to have, you know, 4, 8, 12, that sort of thing, and if we have 6 courts and there's 24 can play at one time, so if 50 people sign up, you know, you're gonna be waiting. You know, nobody signs up because you know, the weather's questionable, you can check it first thing in the morning and people say, you know, not coming, you know.
Do we have someone who embeds that on the Marshall Rec page? Do they know where to go to get that?
We will, and yeah.
Okay. I just can imagine a lot of people first time going like, where do I
Yes.
find this? And then they're like, wait, there's signups? Like I went to
Well, that's
our page and there's nothing there.
right, that's one of my fears too, is you're going like, how are these people getting on here and we don't know about it here, so there's gonna be some coordination and some, you know, putting it all out there.
Pickleball people kind of know that.
Pickleball people do, but that's not who we're going for non-pickleballers. That's, I'm not worried about pickleball people.
What I'm
worried about
actually
non-pickleball.
most worried about is somebody who recently grabbed a thing at Walmart, that's a 2-pack of balls and 2 paddles, and they go out there thinking they can play.
It's
And then
staff.
it's
Right.
been already scheduled, and they're like, I didn't even know that was a thing, and then getting
Yep.
Well,
mad.
that's like anything.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I wanted to make sure we have it on the
What we hope
homepage
is
of the
that,
Parks Department.
that there's plenty of times out there that if you show up, it is open play and you can play. Then that's the rules, you rotate in. And we have a system like if it's really busy, all 4 people rotate in. If it's not busy, you rotate in 2 people. And then there's other times of the day you can come and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And there's times there'll be leagues, sometimes there'll be
Super busy.
a weekend tournament that it's blocked off and nobody can play unless you play in the tournament, so, I think you gotta have some sort of organization, or then everybody's mad when they show up.
And pickleball courts have a reputation of being,
Well organized.
no,
That's nice.
in the recreation world, there's a lot going on with it, but I think it's very doable. I mean, you talk to any community, like pickleball is a lot of work. I mean, to organize everything is a lot of work. And people have different opinions on it, which I think we can work on everything, but
Well, you've got 16 hours a day, like in the summertime
Sure.
to play.
right, no,
And like I said, because you need 3 other people to play, there needs to be some organization or.
right, but you need 3 other people to play, but maybe people have 2 people that just wanna go out and just hit the ball back and forth. They don't want to, like, that's where like, it doesn't have to be a match every single time. That's where I struggle with it a little bit. Like if Phil and I wanna go down there at lunch and just hit the ball back and forth, like we should, like that's what we need to figure out. Like it doesn't have to be 2 on 2 though.
All right.
You know, so that's
And
where.
if it is scheduled for 4 hours a day, can't you guys find a time you can go play just yourselves in?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Really?
But no, like those are, but I'm just being like, kind of being devil's advocate, like that's gonna be out there. Like, me and Phil don't wanna be, like, we just wanna go dink and dunk around at 5 o'clock when we get out of work. Or in it, like, that's, like, so there's gonna be some.
There's gonna be friction, is what
Yes.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have people who don't know about anything about etiquette rules or otherwise, and they're just gonna show up. Like all the other things they've ever done, like a basketball court next to the
Yeah.
side of a building and think, okay, no one's out there, I can play. And then someone comes along and is like, oh, there's a schedule to this and.
Yeah.
So I a random court somewhere.
Yeah.
So I could just see friction happening, so that's why I wanna make it very clear to anybody who's gonna come. that, Okay, here's where you go, and you can find it when you go to the
Well,
Recs department page and make
And
sure
I
that they.
think we talked about putting a QR code down there with that will have all the information on it, and like, there's gonna be signage of how to do things. And I was just being devil's advocate there, going like, it's not gonna be all peaches.
No.
Right at the get go, I mean, it's everybody, I mean, I'm learning about it, there's gonna be a lot of people out there learning of how this all happens.
But if we kick it off correctly, and if you give lessons and you kind of teach
Sure.
how that goes, and that's what you teach everybody the first year.
These are just pickleball courts, right? There's no like tennis conversion. Okay.
They're smaller than tennis courts.
'Cause I know they do it the opposite way, and that can also cause more friction. So
Yeah,
I
so.
couldn't remember what was said.
Is there a motion? You're just gonna do the committee. Okay. Well, there you
Which
go.
we've already met. But no, it,
If you do nothing, it will be chaos.
Who's on the committee? Or the subcommittee?
Natalie.
Say so.
Myself, Lisa, and Roger South, Susan Townsend,
Browns.
Mindy
Yeah.
London,
London,
and
The Browns.
Christopher and Christian and Lauren Brown.
How did we get the committee?
That's who's been playing and plays at many other places and has a lot of experience with other places and there's young and old and involved, so.
Are we the only people that have a full-blown dedicated pickleball court in like our local area?
No. KCC's got 12 of them.
Like,
but Marshall, yes.
it's like a community run.
Coldwater, I think, has 2 sets, maybe an indoor.
Marshall, our Coldwater Township has courts, or the city of Coldwater has courts.
Yeah, no.
Do we know anyone down there that would tell us what their pitfalls have been thus far?
Yes, I have contact.
We should probably.
And that's what Coldwater doesn't use any scheduler. I've never gone down there because
Don't know what you're
if I can look it up, I see the times and you see lots. Also, you can sign up by skill level, so then you can see who's, oh, these guys are over my head, I'm not gonna go today.
None? Reports and recommendations? Asphalt, roads in the cemetery.
That'd be me. So a couple of things there. We are, if you guys have any objections, this is what we are looking at doing and trying to accomplish. I have a map here that of the cemetery, and the yellow strip is what we are looking at continuing on with blacktop.
Is it dirt now or just need to be resurfaced?
Yep. Some is blacktop and I've connected to it, some of the main portions of the road, we're gonna continue on with blacktop. It's currently, what is marked yellow is currently gravel now. The footage is marked there as well, rough guesstimations. And that is our intention, is to pave those gravel roads and turn them into blacktop. A lot of people come in that one main drive there on the east side, and it's blacktop about halfway back, and then it turns into gravel. And the majority of people that use the Williamson Addition side, which is the golf course side, most all of that is blacktop as well. And then that back road is what we're looking at along the airport. Just making that L shape there. So that's one thing that we're looking at doing. The other thing is,
Can I ask you why though?
I'm sorry, say again.
Why? Why do we want to convert it to blacktop?
Specifically for convenience of people coming and going. There's a lot of maintenance and maintaining mud holes, gravel and such. So the city has deemed it necessary to maybe try to upgrade our cemetery and continue on with the blacktop. Eventually, when we move to the east, to the farm field, that triangle farm field, which is where the cemetery expansion is, we'd like to have that blacktopped. The main drag, main portion that goes over to that east, blacktopped as well, but that's not necessary now, I don't believe. Anyways, but this will help us get back to that farthest road to the south and get that blacktop.
You said convenience, like convenience how?
For customers coming and going, people coming and going in the cemetery, in and out. So, yeah. Have you been in the cemetery?
Yeah, I'm just maybe missing like,
So
is
if you
it that
go
much
in-
worse than gravel? Or
Say that again?
Is it that much worse or more inconvenient than gravel is?
Is blacktop more?
Like, is like the gravel significantly less convenient than like a blacktop would be?
Some minimally, I would say. It is for aesthetics purposes. It is for convenience, it is for maintaining or maintenance of the grounds. That is we've had several years where we've talked about it, and now we're starting to take some action. Margarita's asked me to bring this here and let you guys know, maybe see if there's any suggestions or opposition, which is, I think, what I'm hearing now.
I'm slightly off the session too.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, just from the standpoint of thinking about the long game cost on blacktop versus, filling potholes or regrading it. That's a pretty quick and easy job by comparison to putting in a whole new blacktop that needs to be replaced.
I don't disagree with you at all. It is a main maintenance, ongoing maintenance to continue to fill in the gravel potholes, so on and so forth.
Do they have a cost estimate for that stretch? It looks like 900 feet by 350, is that what I saw?
Yeah, plus the smaller stretch in front of that building there. Not yet, that's just part of this process, that's why Marguerite asked me to bring this. To see if there was any suggestions or opposition to putting forth that money towards the cemetery.
Is the cemetery self-contained, or can you drive from the cemetery to somewhere else?
No, in and out, you've got to go in off from the intersection of South Marshall and Hughes Homer, or off from Homer. You can't go like to the south, east or west.
Can't go to the golf course.
Can't go to the golf course, no, can't go to the golf course, can't go to the airport. Not supposed to anyways.
Would it be paid for by the cemetery fund's own funds or?
That we haven't talked about yet, I'm assuming it would be some type of a capital improvement. Set X aside. For the next year or two to do a strip and then another strip, so on and so forth. Eventually, when we get to that new section, it would be nice to have blacktop from specifically the front of the cemetery going to the back and then back and then entering on the east side.
I guess my only comment back is if they are gonna proceed with doing it, it'd be interesting to see like what the actual cost of the maintenance has been over the last several years. And see like, do we even get close to negating that by putting in blacktop for whatever the lifespan is supposed to be recommended by. However, if we're putting it in and by whoever's putting it in, like, yeah, you don't need to really touch this for 10 years.
Yeah, you
There's
can't
other kinds of maintenance we'll end up doing on the blacktop anyways, like filling.
patching potholes,
Yeah,
yeah, correct.
resurfacing and so on, so I don't feel like it negates that completely, but it'd be interesting to see the cost difference, like is it really worth doing it?
So what's already been blacktopped, have we had to do any maintenance on that already?
Oh, yeah,
Replacement,
yeah.
and what is, like those
There
costs?
has been cracks that have turned into potholes that we've had to patch. There's been, we've had to cut it due to a water main break or repair of a water line. That's pretty much it that I can remember, at least since that I've been here. Prior to, I've been here 7 years, prior to that, could speak to that.
How long has that blacktop been in place? Just.
Ever since I've been here,
Yeah.
so it's been there quite some time, yeah.
Who's asking for it?
City,
City's requesting? it?
yes. They're requesting it, this is what their plan is, Marguerite had asked me to bring this here to inform you guys, maybe get some recommendations or position, if.
I guess I'm curious about more information, because it seems like we don't have, like, we're just doing it. Maybe there's a reason to keep a budget build for that, I don't know, I was just curious, more.
Well,
information
it's,
for
well,
what's wise.
specifically, yeah, and we have a lot of people that do drive through there. Say a lot, it's a lot, on a daily basis. The roads would have to be, because there is some heavier equipment that does come in and out of there. For burials. Concrete trucks for pouring foundations, we do that twice a year, that type of thing, so it can't just be the thin skin layer, it just has, you have to put it in, so it can stand that.
Is that,
They're one lane,
Doing that-
it's not like it's a 2 lane, you know what I mean?
is that actually what's cutting the gravel road when you have to get in there in spring and fall when it's wet and you gotta get in today and get.
That has some to do with it, the gravel roads that are there are. They're just 2-track gravel roads, other than the main one that goes in and the one across the back. But most of them, and a lot of them, in between all of those that come in and out are like, got a lot of grass growing in them, so they're like 2-track type
And it's
driveways. I'll
tearing
call
up the
them.
bones to go with it, too.
Sometimes, yeah, we've had some issues with that, but for the most part, the crew, they can navigate that pretty easily. But anyways, and then the water portion of that, the city is in the process of GPS locating each spigot. We have a lot of water lines that are old, galvanized pipes, undersized, like 1-inch pipes. We're in the process of locating all those spigots through a GPS location and then put them on a map so that we can run new water lines down the side of the road. And then maybe have some manifold that we can turn sections off instead of, if you got a water leak, you have to go down and shut the entire cemetery off and make a repair. So we want to be able to section that off a little bit. So we're in the process of starting that, put that together and make a plan for that, so.
Do we water, or is that just for like getting water from spigots?
Customers, it's convenience for customers to.
We don't actually like run sprinklers.
No, we don't run sprinklers, no, not to irrigate the lawn. The only thing that we really use the water for up there is for sinking graves. When we have a full-size burial, we sink the grave, which means we put water beside the vault that holds the casket to help settle that dirt, so that once we fill it, it doesn't settle 6 months later and you have it dead. You have to go back and do all that. So we take the time to do that, so.
They have great water pressure.
Uh,
Currently,
no,
I don't know, I'm
not great water pressure.
But it seems so, Phil, like when I'm watering a lot, and I do water a lot in cemetery.
Yeah,
When I turn the spigots on and they fill up fast. So I mean, just maybe some of them are slower, A
yeah,
lot of.
get towards the back, definitely slower.
Yeah, yeah.
Up front though,
Okay.
it's not too bad.
And a lot of people are using them for watering.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so-
they water flowers
Yeah.
every day.
Phil, I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
when they're doing asphalt, are they doing any kind of a crown or is it just mostly flat and just let the water come off into the grass?
That I don't have the answer to that question. We haven't got that far with the planning portion,
Yeah,
but we're really just getting the ball rolling, getting this thing. It's been a long time coming, so it's just a
Yeah.
process, so.
we used to have a lot of questions from people on trailway greenways and asphalting. And if asphalting is done well, you really won't have much erosion, especially if you handle water that's coming off and you're putting it into shallow ditches. And some asphalt, they just do flat, but a lot of parks do a very slight crown in the asphalt.
Yeah.
But then they're emptying that off into very, very shallow ditches, but something that will handle the water flow. But again, for the most part, there hasn't been a lot of erosion. That I can see that one area to the north. Where you were exiting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
By the gate
that was just,
closed.
but that's really
Yeah.
steep, but you guys do a pretty good job of.
It's hard to maintain that
Yeah.
gravel because it does get washed out. And that's a steeper portion of the road and it does get washed out.
But it's only one area and,
It is only that one specific area.
yeah,
And it's not super long, so it's easy to maintain. But some of to answer your question on the crown, some of those areas that we're looking at, it might be higher, the dirt is higher on one side of the road than it is the
Yeah.
other, so we may have to taper it to the one side so that it can flow properly, but I haven't got that far yet, really, at each section.
are we doing much for policy for the people that are dating a lot of the cemetery?
Say that again?
Cars that are parked in various places in the cemetery and couples are.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a few of that. There's been some matches made up there. So,
What life?
There's places,
that's
There's places
time
that-
for another story some other time, yeah.
there's
We'll
places
talk
in the
later.
evening that I can't go because.
I've seen it all, I've seen it all, so yeah. Anyways, so those are the two things that I'm just bringing to you guys for some information, let you know what's going on, what the city is thinking that they wanna do, and more to come.
Good to see that.
Yeah, that's what we thought, so.
Okay. Big
No,
foot-
that, you know, it-
There's always gotta be one.
that's fine, absolutely, I'll take any suggestions and comments.
Can we get
Do
comments
that.
from,
I don't believe so,
Well,
because from what I know, and Jacob might know better, there's public comment, that's the only time the public's allowed to speak.
Is that only on the agenda or is there a second opportunity?
On the agenda, there's only one public comment time.
are we allowed to vote on amendments? Or no?
Amendments, what amendment?
Adding,
Amendments to the agenda. Yeah, we've already accepted,
There's
approved the
nothing.
agenda.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
Real quick, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask, and you go ahead and comment on this, but it seems like, Rotary is doing a nice, grave repair, Jeff Green,
Yes,
and, it looks like they've done this a couple times, It looked interesting. How's it going?
Yeah, I met with them up there prior to the first class that they were doing. Jeff, on behalf of Jeff, I submit a request through the foundation for the funds to support those, I think there were three classes, two, at least two.
Yeah,
And the repairs that were being done at that time, so I have to apologize, I don't know if they're completely done with their
Yeah.
classes, or if they've done two and they have one more, I don't know the answer to that question, but it was interesting. But anyways, yeah, I met with them up there to work out some of the details and make sure they had what they needed.
there's been a lady up there, I know you know who that is, repairing.
Oh, yeah,
Individual graves. She seems very skilled.
in
I
the
don't know if
past.
that's part of the Rotary thing with Jeff or.
Jennifer Baffey was the first one that come to me several years ago. I apologize, the lady's name that slips my memory that was doing it this year with the Rotary. I totally drawn a blank. But they know each other, obviously, and they've worked
Yeah.
together in the past.
Nice to see
Can
you.
I chime in real quick?
Yep.
So not to be Debbie Downer, but like that's not on the agenda, so I don't believe we can talk about, I think we have to stick from Michelle, we have to stick directly to this agenda. By Robert's rules.
All right, are we done with?
I'm sorry to be the discussion total.
Okay. Recreation report.
Rec, it's been a busy summer, a really good summer. Drew Mullen, my recreation coordinator, she's on maternity leave right now. She had a baby 3 weeks ago. So we were down somebody for a couple weeks and we hired Ava Hankey as a part-time recreation coordinator to help fill that gap a little bit and then to also keep her on staff once Drew is back in late October, early November. So with that, it'll take a little bit of the programming off of me, be able to add more programming into the rec side of things, which would be nice, bringing new young ideas into our programs. Summer playground, we had a great year. We ran that for 8 weeks. We averaged about 55 kids per week this year. The last 3 years, we were averaging about 35 kids a week. So
Summer playground.
yeah, summer fun playgrounds, for kindergarten through 5th grade students, 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday at Hughes Elementary. $70 if you're a city resident, $80 if you're not, I believe. What we charge. We had
How's it baseball do?
baseball was good, our numbers were great, no major issues. And again, I love the rec side of sports. If you're looking for high-end baseball and softball at the kid level, you're not gonna find it in our leagues. But the kids are out there, it's like an organized gym class and they love it. It's a short little window, they play 8 games over a 4-week period, with 2 weeks of practice time, and it was good.
Do we manage the men's and women's softball that I see going on out there?
Yep.
How's that doing?
Numbers are dying,
Dying?
they're
So I shouldn't sign up now.
a co-ed league. Yeah, I need a co-ed team right now to have a fall ball league. Co-ed's actually, I think we had 8 teams this time, which was good, and women's we had 4. We don't run a men's league anymore. That died out. The men got too competitive across the state. They only wanted to play in competitive tournaments, so then a competitive team would come to a lower level tournament and dominate, so you lose the men's, the lower level men's teams. So we haven't had that in a couple years. But we have one of the last women's leagues in the state, I believe. Yeah, there's not many of them. I'm holding on to 4, and if one of them leaves, probably the end of our stuff, so. But we are offering a co-ed fall ball league. We haven't had one in a couple years, and we're 1 team short right now with the deadline tomorrow.
Go ahead, what?
Softball on Sundays. So we used to run it 5-6 years ago. We would have 15 teams on a Sunday, and then all of a sudden COVID hit and it died. All those teams just kind of dissipated. So, but yeah, so sand volleyball this summer I had. We end next Tuesday is the final one. We had right around 60 teams this summer in sand volleyball.
60?
60.
2 people teams.
No, 4 and 6 people. We have different leagues. We have Sunday co-ed 6s, Monday women's fours and Tuesday women fours, or Tuesday co-ed fours. So yeah, it's just a popular, we have a great program, great site supervisor down there that recruits teams like crazy. I typically will email her a week before the deadline going, these are the teams we have so far. She's like, let me get on the horn. And she throws out 100 text messages to everybody she knows. And all of a sudden teams start trickling in. And I mean, co-ed fours this summer, I had 5 teams. And I was canceling it for the late summer league that I run. And she said, hold on, give us an extra week. And I did. And she came up with 8 teams. So she's dynamite. For making little money, she helps me out an absolute ton.
Who is that?
Rebecca Sparks, formerly Rebecca Warren. She got married a couple years ago, but yeah, she's fantastic. Don't tick her off, she'll let you know. She is. But she's really great. She's been working for me for, I think you're 20, I think she's been working for me for 16 years doing volleyball. She does my indoor volleyball leagues and anything else I need site supervising for in a pinch, she's there for me. So she's fantastic. We have flag football starting in a week. Numbers are a little bit down right now. Deadline is Thursday. I think we're at 65 kids right now for K through 5th grade, separated out. We ran our first ever outdoor soccer league. I don't know if anybody drove by the fields, this summer. We ran a 4-week season, and it was the gap between the AYSO soccer, Marshall Jaguar soccer. We found like a 5-week window where we could do it in the summer, and we had about 100 kids in that program. Ran across some issues with coaches being not the greatest people in the world to each other.
I got into a physical dispute?
No, they're just nitpicky towards each other. It was just nothing major, but it was just, we were on the phone a lot, telling people like, I had to send an email out last week saying, before the game, teams will shake hands and say good luck. After the game, you will say good game, because they were getting that pettiness of, we're not shaking your hand. Because there was 2 teams in the 5th through 8th grade league. They played each other every week.
Coaches repping or we hired?
No, we hired refs. And I mean, the refs, they're 13-year-olds. I mean, they were reffing kids about the same age as them, 14-year-olds. So we had to get after them a little bit, like, you gotta call this, you gotta call it. Somebody slide tackle, you gotta call. And the training they get is about an hour, maybe. So they do an okay job. But really, our leagues are on play. We're not winning and losing. I don't keep standings in any of my kids' leagues. So it's like, go out and play it. Listen, get outside of your house, play soccer in a non-threatening, not overly competitive manner, because everything out there right now with sports is competitive from 3 years old.
Yeah.
And I think they're paying $1,800 to play Jaguar soccer right now for a season.
Per kid?
Yeah, super.
Yeah, so it's like, and that's where our leagues, it was $35 to play.
I've got my kids in theater.
Yeah, in travel sports, that's why I love rec so much. We're here for the people that don't need to play it. I know a lot of kids, my stepson graduated last year. A lot of those kids, his friends played sports from 3 years old competitively. Every weekend, basketball, whatever. They're playing D3 college, a couple of them are playing D3 college. Good for you, that's awesome, but it's D3 college, in my opinion, is just a small step up from high school sports. So and then you're going to these small colleges with no scholarships and whatever else. So rec is
Now everybody who watches our live stream that plays D3 are gonna match.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I will discuss that.
So if I come to a family reunion and I want to go out and play softball on those fields, can I go and do that?
Yeah.
How do I know how it's scheduled?
Can you go?
Are there
Do you get my
isn't
point?
the field park super?
Do you get my point?
No, I was, point. I like the idea of having a schedule, yeah.
So yeah, other than that, kayaks and tubes rentals started out very slow this year. We ended up, I don't know how many we put out, but I think our revenue on that was about $2,000. So it picked up, it was very slow, and mid-July, and it's been pretty busy ever since. We had a couple really big rentals with about 20 kayaks going out, so we have one this weekend with 20 going out.
So how do you get the word out about that, like when it's time?
For kayaks,
Yeah.
we don't really, I don't advertise that all that much. And the main reason, I don't have staff. It's myself and one other person most of the time, and for us to have to go and get stuff, so it's like, we have it, it's a service to the community, it's an option for people, but I don't advertise it too much. We typically do it one time a year, throw it out on Facebook or twice a year. And most of the time, I've been going away from transporting the kayaks back to us, because we do that for a $25 charge, but when 2 people rent 2 kayaks and they go to Historic Bridge Park. So it takes me a good hour to do all that, hour and a half to do all that, get the kayaks ready, get everything out.
So how much do you charge people for that?
$25 for me to, no, $25 for me to go pick them up. $20 per kayak. So if you have 2 people, it's $65. But if you can bring them back to me, that's what most of the people do. I try to fix that out. If you have a truck, you're gonna have a vehicle at both places anyway. So if you have a truck, put it there and just bring it back to me, and I'll give you a special code to get in to drop them back off. And that, been doing that for 8-9 years now, and it's been working. But it's not a full-blown livery. When people ask, I'm like, we're not a full-blown livery, we're a rental company. When it comes to this, we rent out the kayaks. Go do what you want with it and just bring it back to us. So, and overall it's worked. We had somebody rent it for a weekend and they took it like on their camping trip. But recreation wise, that is about it for now.
Parks report.
Parks have actually,
We already talked about it.
yeah, but parks have been pretty good this summer overall. I've been through a lot of mowing. We've got like 3 mowing guys this summer. But everybody's done a pretty good job with keeping up with the garbage. The rentals of the pavilions at Stewart's Landing, mainly at Cronin Mill Race Pavilion, they're rented out pretty much every weekend, at least one day during the weekend. Causes a little bit of an issue of garbage. Like I don't have someone to go get garbage on the weekend, so it's like if I have back-to-back rentals, I'm coming in to grab garbage and make sure it's okay when I'm home on the weekends. But they get rented out quite often, so it's been good. Graffiti's been somewhat limited this year. We find it here and there, but nothing too bad. Hopefully it stays that way. Kids are back in school, so. What's that?
Spray paint's expensive.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a new position a couple times. What's the update on that?
We offered the job to somebody here about 3-4 weeks ago. We're going through the whole process and they decided they did not want the job any longer. So we went to our number 2 person in the interviews and they had already found a new full-time job. And then we didn't like our 3rd interview of that. So we reposted it here about 2 weeks ago. Posted it and we had interviews last week, interviewed 2 people. They're both really good. We came to our final decision to not offer the job yet for their final interview with the city manager, which will be on Thursday this week. Once they go through the background checks, if Derek likes this person, and then they will hopefully start within the month.
What's the role title?
Parks maintenance supervisor. The person we interviewed, if he accepts, on paper is more than we could have ever asked for with experience. So if they accept. Has worked all over the state, has certifications. If not, our number 2 has not park experience, but has plant experience. Can learn. So we have good options. It was almost, it's looking like it was a blessing that the first one fell through. But overall parks are a ton of work. There's a lot of people in our parks every day. I have people walking the river walk. I mean, there's people that walk it every single day. So they're my people out there that give me a call and say, hey, just me again, or email me, hey, just me again. Just wanted to let you know the board next to light of 111 is broke. And so put that down and then hopefully get somebody out there within a day to fix it. So but there are a lot of things. There's just a lot going on in our parks. Just a lot of grass, a lot of trees, a lot of invasives, a lot of everything. Getting this new person on board, hopefully alleviate some of that. make our parks that much better. And I think council, like once, and Derek, once we get rolling with this, we're hoping to expand our park staff and being able to actually accomplish, to be proactive rather than reactive.
Been advocated for a long time to get
Yes,
one person, so
right.
I'm very happy we're getting one
Uh-huh.
at least.
Well, and I have thoughts in my mind of how to combine positions to give this person a right-hand man who, no. And that's like the guy that does the fountain, post that as a maintenance position, a park maintenance position, that's just part of that job. Yeah, the DDA, because the DDA, I believe, is funding part of this position, so the DDA person can kind of branch out a little bit, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited for it, it's like I said, this person that we're hopefully offering a job to, it all works out, he will really get these parks going in the right direction.
It's exciting.
Yeah, pretty much so.
When's his final meeting?
Thursday. So we should. Hopefully I'm off Thursday, Friday this week, but hopefully by Monday we can have an offer to me.
Cemetery report.
That's me. Okay, well, we covered some of it. Doing good. I think we're removing a few tree cages, some of the larger trees on there with Jim's guidance, and that's really it. We're down I had a couple of college students go back to school, so I'm down a couple of staff members. We're currently advertised for that. With the weather changing and the grass slowing down. It's not, what's that? No, it doesn't seem like it, but it does seem to alleviate a little bit, and I have one another staff member that on Fridays, he stops in there as he gets caught up with other things around town and helps the cemetery out, so. Hopefully we'll have someone here in the next couple of weeks back on staff for the rest of the season. So, cemetery's doing good.
Good to hear.
Some of the trees are, again, Phil's managing his people, and they're removing some of the cages, which is good. And some of the trees have gotten big.
Yeah, they're growing.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are.
I see this summer.
It's had a lot of rain,
How old?
Yeah,
varies,
yeah,
couple of years to on up.
yeah. We still have some small ones,
Yeah.
and we try to keep cages on them until they get 3 to 4 inches in diameter. Beyond that, the deer stop scraping, so we'll take a peek, but a lot of the trees have finally gotten bark, so at
Yeah.
4 or 5 inches, they start to bark up pretty good, and we'll still get some scraping. If we get scraping, sometimes we'll put a small cage around it for an extra year or two, and then they normally heal up pretty well. Or we'll use plastic wrap. We do both on the smaller trees. Sometimes we'll put a cage back on, or we'll just use plastic wrap. And they don't like the feel of the wrap.
Yeah.
And they love to get at trees that are 1 inch to 2 inches in diameter. It's perfect for them, and they're coming out of the fields on the sides of the cemetery are great pathways to come in. And so we'll take away. Normally, we'll start to see some scraping going on in September. And then it gets full bore October, November, and then it just kind of dies off as we get in December. And so if we can get them, within a day or two of them scraping, they heal up pretty well. Don't like to see it, but we're on those, pretty fast.
Yeah.
But it's nice, we've got some nice sized trees and they're starting to grow.
Board report. Anything board?
I just have a comment, I know it's put out, to bring up things that the board here might talk about or discuss. One thing, as we're looking at the end of the athletic field expansion project, we can see that on the horizon finally being done at some point. One thing I hear from constituents a lot is the idea that they would like to have a dog park in the city. And I know that's, you know, more work and more budget and everything like that, but one thing aside from the expense that's kind of held everybody back from moving forward with something like that is the idea of where that might be located if it were to be done. So as we look forward and think about what that might look like, I thought that might be something good for this board to discuss at some point, potentially make a recommendation on, is if we were to create a dog park, where would that ideally be located, and how would it fit in with the,
We've talked about dog parks before.
probably before my time.
I don't think we got the 5-year plan.
We mentioned it for where the old State Farm building used to be, but there's a reason why that couldn't work, right?
It's residential.
Yeah, I don't remember what the reason
Yeah, I
was,
can't
but there was.
Something weird about it.
Well, that would now,
Probably be, no.
yeah, now
It's
it's
a
owned,
residential.
it's owned now by the Calhoun County Land Bank to be developed into residential.
Who owns the old Eaton property?
From what I hear about Eaton, doesn't want anything ever built on their stuff generally
Does Eaton
because.
still own it? I'm talking
Yeah,
about the abandoned plant.
Behind the.
they don't wanna ever have to remediate the whatever environmental stuff is in the ground there, so. They don't want anyone to just
So
mess.
Eaton owns it.
They still own it, yeah, and they don't wanna sell it, is my understanding. There's been a lot of discussion about various uses for those, you know, known plots and in general, they're like, nope, we're gonna hang on to it.
Yeah, we've had the discussion of dog parks for a long time. Like it's been, I wanna say every board. that
It's
we-
come up.
It always comes up and we've had different boards try to get together and come up with a plan. And again, it's the location. There's not, the best location, and I don't know who I've talked to this about, somebody. But is the fairgrounds. Like,
I talked to the director.
and like, you know, on the north side of the fairgrounds, they have this, and you just close the dog park, my idea is close the dog park during fair season.
I spoke with her about that very idea, the director.
Like Woody and
Parking.
I don't know if they want to.
and there's, I mean, and it all, this city is, oh, what do you want in your dog park? Do you want? Like a fence? That you call it a dog park, you know, just long enough, just long enough,
Fence, water and shade.
right? Or do you want typically what Marshall wants is bigger, better? You know, from somewhere else, so it's all in what we want and the size of it. But I did hear the new apartment complex over on A Drive, Homer Road, A Drive, that there's gonna be a public dog park there, supposedly.
There's some discussion.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, there's really. I don't know where, nobody wants a dog park next to your house. Right, so it's,
There's a lot of variables, right, about where, and that's where I just think, you know, like everybody kind of shrugs and goes, well, you know, you talk to the. You know, Derek goes, well, I don't know where you put it, and everyone on city council goes, I don't know where we put it. So I thought, well, maybe
Is
this
there-
board can think about
Yeah.
it, and you know, maybe it's
Is there
something.
anything on the edge of town anywhere on either the south or north side that we could look at putting a dog park in?
we, at one point in time, we talked, east of the DPW. There's that field right there, that was brought up at one point, right over here, just when you get past the DPW building, there's that field on your left, that's a city owned field. Right across from the cemetery, basically, just down from the cemetery,
So what's the city limits stop up there?
where the sign is.
Huh?
Where the sign is, it's the city.
At the end of the cemetery?
That's a great, it's out there, before you get to Division.
Yeah,
Is there any portions of the cemetery that are like 15-year plan where like they could have it phased out and then we can find another place at another time that's like just.
rotating dog park.
I mean, not, it doesn't have to be rotating, but I know we have extra land for cemetery, but like if there's some that's like earmarked for like 15 years out. Like putting one in on that property until we're ready to use it, cause we're not actually building anything that couldn't be. easily
Fence
moved.
goes up, comes down.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just gonna sit there 15 years.
I mean, so a dog park, I don't think highly of dog park at all. I think because the athletic fields prove that people won't pick up after themselves. I let people down there. I didn't say a word to people. I said, yep, take care of your animal, take care of every single field had dog park. And it's like. The same people are gonna use your dog park and then who's out there cleaning it up?
Well, then they're not pooping on your field then.
That's, well, they don't go down there much anymore because I put signs up, but it's like one of those things where it's. dog owners, not all, probably not the majority, but the bad one and everything, just like the skate park. You people ruin a lot of that, you know, and it's just like,
One benefit to most dog parks I've ever seen is like they often have the disposable bags right there, right? I'm sure we didn't have it at the
ball fields.
ball field.
No, we kicked it around, you know, but I didn't wanna encourage people
Yeah.
using.
So there is one side, because I feel like most of the times I see somebody do that, you can tell like, I forgot a bag, or like they see, you know, like there's look of shame, but there's like no choice for me.
Or there's people that look around and go,
Yeah, there's plenty of both.
walk the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
I walked through there and I had to pick up somebody on the Riverwalk, like on it, it's like, all you do is take a stick and
Shove it to the
shove it
side.
to the side, you know, and it's right in the dead center of it, it's like.
Aren't there bags too downtown,
Mhm.
like in the, behind like.
At Olcott Park, also we have bags over there.
Mhm. But yeah, I've seen,
Activation throws
Even with-
together,
Yeah.
just ignore them,
yeah.
Right, it's just,
They ignore them.
ignore them.
and that's where it's. I'm not a dog, I'll put that out there, I'm not a dog, so it's like one of those things where it's like. All the red flags go off in my head going, like, everywhere I've seen it, and again, other communities that I've talked to about it. Like, for a lot of work, there are a lot, there are people don't,
And we
People
probably
don't.
don't have the staff for it. No.
don't have a staff, like, that's the
Like,
issue,
yeah.
it's. You wanna pay somebody, you know, $25 an hour to go clean up dog food.
Well-
That's the, but,
Just, it's no different. I pick up all the trash out of the west end or east end median out there.
you know,
And it's no different, people throwing all their crap out, and those rose bushes are excellent at
Oh, yeah.
catching it. And, you know, I pick up a whole bag full of garbage out there every time I'm out there, so that's just life.
Well, and so it may be truly that it does need to be a discussion when there is a little bit more staffing. Then we can afford to do that because there is somebody to. On staff to help out with that, but just putting it out there, that, you know,
I'm not on
it's-
staff.
Well, no, yeah, we don't have. Well, we do have somebody say you don't have to do it, so you don't have to.
But yeah, that's just what happens in the world. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
right,
that's
it's
true.
not right, but
That's true.
that's your unintended consequences of every good thing you do.
Well, there probably would be dog owners who
Would see.
who would see it and would be like, this person, and they would pay. Even if it's someone else's.
we can only put so many times.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
But I think it is, I don't think that ever made it into the 5-year plan, even though it's brought up every single time, it never made it into the plan. Keeps getting shoved away, because somebody wants to deal with it.
Well, I just know going door to door, we have to get signatures for city council, and that's one thing that we heard, like, people like knock on the door, and at first you think here, and then they open the door and talking, like. I have to have a dog park, like numerous times here.
My question for that, is, do they have a yard?
Oh, yeah, they have a yard.
See, that's what drives me absolutely bonkers, it's like, you live in a rural town basically, like, you have a yard,
Yeah,
like. Why do you need
I'll
that?
tell you the hard part for me as a dog owner and having a decent sized yard, like I have a larger lot than most of like the houses. Not by much, but throwing the ball. Like I chuck that thing and it goes in the woods 9 times out of 10. And then it gets lost and you can't find it and then running through the woods now and chasing a deer versus just staying in the yard.
Go underhand, not.
Yeah, he don't find that. He quits after like 2 of those. Or my son decides to throw it and that's essentially underhand and he hates that too. So like I can say, and the advent of the chuck it, I don't know if you guys ever seen that thing. It like lets you chuck it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I take my dog out to the State Farm
Mm-hmm,
area and just absolutely heave that thing.
yeah,
And he sprints all the way down the end of the field and comes all the way back. So it's like
yeah.
a dog can use a lot more than one residential yard.
Where else did I see somebody with a dog? At the middle school. Yeah, in middle school, yesterday, I saw a guy out there, the German Shepherd.
Just chucking.
Yeah.
well, some people like to socialize their dogs, they want the dog to be able to interact with other
Sure.
dogs.
Oh, yeah, I know, there's a reason they're popular.
There's reasons,
There's
but
a reason they're popular, I get it.
with the idea across from the cemetery, that might be promising.
Yeah, and I don't know, that was brought up years ago, and it's like, I don't know what the plan is over there and whatever else, but. Yeah.
That could be promising, it's
Yeah.
not right by any residential stuff and it's close enough to the city.
Right.
Don't some communities charge a fee though to belong to a dog park though too, so could that be an option?
Could be, there's key fobs to get in, to a dog park, I've heard of all that, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, memberships.
On the more relaxed side, our cemetery, we have a lot of people walking dogs in the cemetery. And Phil could comment on this. I'm out there a lot and I haven't really, people pick up. And they seem to, I don't encounter a lot of. So, and the other place they walk a lot is Brooks.
Yeah.
Naturarium. That gets shaky because of the ticks. But people like to walk the dogs and generally they're pretty good about having them on a leash. And they pick up well too out there, although stepping on it is a little more often than you like, but. Yeah, those are two areas that.
But yeah, if it's $35 to, you know, have access to it, and if, you know, I mean, it says if you're found not picking up, then you're not gonna get to do it next year or whatever.
But also it helps pay for the maintenance of it.
Right.
Yeah, I do have a question here as we're getting toward the end here of the board meeting. I wanted to see if Emily or Ian wanted Campbell to comment on Canoe the Kalamazoo, not having it this fall, but starting next year. Do you have anything you'd like to comment on that or the MAC?
If that's all right, I can comment on it. The Canoe the Kazoo was a partnership with the Michigan Climate Action Network this year. It was several weekends ago. We had it rained out for the actual paddle and we're trying to reschedule it for September 21st. So those are rather new developments, but I can keep the city updated. Yeah. So I'm planning on having a conversation with you after.
Yeah, because that's getting right towards the end of us like shutting everything down, because you get into
Yeah.
weather, you know, and it becomes
Definitely.
dangerous.
That's like the day before the fall equinox.
Right,
Yeah.
but they got a hold of me also, the climate, they're, at one point they said this coming weekend, I need to get a hold of them.
Well, we were in conversation with the Kalamazoo River Watershed Council as well, and there was a weekend, September 21st, that worked for all three groups.
Okay,
So that was one we were gonna move forward with, but that's rather new, so.
okay, yeah, I need to reach out to them. Eric, I think, Bolden.
Erica Bowler.
Yeah, I need to reach out.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, we tried to get out there, we tried to do it, and there were like thunderstorm warnings and we decided to do something else, so. And it didn't really rain, so it didn't. We tried.
All right,
Well, thank you both for your leadership for the MAC, the new Marshall Area Conservation, I can't say council, corridor.
Yeah.
And Ian's heading that, their meeting tomorrow. And they did a great tree planting job with the city, Phil and Marguerite and others. 50 some big trees planted this spring, and they all seem to be doing well. Unlike our whole region, Marshall has actually had more rain than most areas. So we've been real consistent with rainfall from April, right almost through, we had a little dry period in here in August, but generally pretty good rainfall. So our new trees that were planted have done well. So thank you both and others.
all right, German,
Motion to adjourn. Second.
we vote? Done,
Thank you, Pro Tem. Great job.
happy to do it, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, quick. There's a few.
Small cities.
Did you join mine?
That's my first one.
Sorry, I missed that. I'll change it.